Well, the second ODI is fascinatingly poised. Three early wickets lost by India, then a meaty partnership, the partnership that we wanted to see between Surya Kumar Yadav and KL Rahul, and that came to an end with an unfortunate run out. Now it's rebuilding time for India. That's the partnership to confirm. 90 of 106 deliveries, India 157 for 4 at the 35 over mark, and this is the time we just try and assess the innings vis-a-vis the last 15 overs in the company of Shaun Pollock here on Cricbuzz Comm Box. Shaun, the 3 wickets that fell early, then of course we had that partnership. How much of a difference is the separation of the partnership going to make, or do you think they've done enough of a platform for the lower order?
Yeah, I think they've just got it far enough along. 90 of 106 balls. You see the contributions of the two different players there. But I think for me, what they did is they did brilliantly at absorbing pressure. I think the West Indians were very clever in their approach. They kept the seamers going for as long as possible, trying to see if they could get another wicket and put a little bit more pressure onto that middle order. They weren't able to do that. Those two guys at the crease absorbed well. And then as soon as the spinners have come, I had a look at the one graphic. There were 25 overs. I think there wasn't one over of more than 7, after 25 overs. Now, how often do you see that in a one-day international, particularly in India? So that was how they had to go about their business. But since then, they really have taken to the spinners. A bit of a bizarre run out, wasn't it? It was like KL Rahul, normally in those situations as a batter, you sort of touch and move. And once you charge into the end where the ball's going, you just put your head down and keep going. Even if the other guy stutters or doesn't quite take off as soon as he can, you've got to make sure you make your ground. So he'll be disappointed with that, but played nicely and showed how valuable he is in the middle overs.
Yeah, I know he had a few words for his mate at the other end as he was walking off, but really, the more you look at it, he just stopped himself. Whether it was his call or whether it was Surya who said, "Come on, we can make the second." If he decided to wait and then they were both caught at one end, that's one thing. But he went, so did Surya, and halfway through, something made him stop or hesitate and continue running. Because had he continued running, he would have probably made it.
Yeah, there was a couple of examples on the tour of South Africa. I think him and Mayank in particular almost got themselves into trouble. So they've got a bit of an issue with running between the wickets. But I think it was the timing of everything. Don't get me wrong. I think Surya was wrong in the how quickly he started and ran the first one. He should have been going much quicker than that. But then when KL Rahul stopped, Surya was well on his way. I know he might have been behind and he probably would have been, even if it was a relay throw from the wicketkeeper to the other end, he might have been caught close to being run out himself. But at that time when he stopped, I don't know if in his peripheral vision he saw something he wasn't quite aware of. But anyway, to get run out in that fashion is one whammy, but to be on 49 is a double dose.
Yeah, he looked like the one who could go out and get 100. But from the West Indies bowling point of view, we looked at it early on. They were spot on. That's what Shaun Pollock's assessment was at the 15 over mark. Now, the next 20 overs. The interesting part, we saw lots of turn in the first game. This time, Fabian Allen, Akil Hussain, 9 overs for 61 runs. All the damage from the senior fast bowlers, or the junior and senior fast bowlers.
Yeah, the fast bowlers have been really good. I think that the spinners have offered up too much to hit. They haven't been backed up. I think we saw 3 examples of misfields going away to the boundary as well. So not the best effort after it. I was full of praise for what the West Indies did in the first 20 overs. I thought they were fantastic. And they're going to have to finish strong here. You know, they do have wickets down. And if they can strike 2 or 3 before the last 6 or 7 over launch, then maybe they can keep that total down. But I think if these two keep going, Washington Sundar, how was that first straight drive? Wow. Nice present, nice full juicy half volley. But that's as good as a shot we've seen all day.
Well, my next question was going to be your take on Sundar coming ahead of Huda. But now that you praised him for that first shot, does that question answer itself?
No, left-hander, right-hander combination again. And I can understand this one. Because of their spinners, they have to bowl all those overs, between them. Left arm spinning into the left-hander, he might have that ability to clear. And then you've still got some hitting power to come. Deepak Huda will come next. And Shardul Thakur played nicely in a couple of the innings here in South Africa. So he's in good touch. And this is more like a South African kind of surface, isn't it? As I said after the 15 overs, where were these surfaces? Where have you guys been hiding this Ahmedabad? I'm sure I played at Ahmedabad. It was nothing like that.
Yeah, definitely wasn't as big a stadium, but yeah, the surfaces have changed. So if you understand and you have that kind of experience of scores, 50 over scores on a typical South African type surface, what would you reckon from this point on? 163 for 4 in the 37th over. Can they still somehow get to 300? Or has that bus long gone with Kohli, Rohit, Rahul all gone?
Yeah, I think it's a case in point. If there's two overs, I think you need two proper overs where maybe two disappear. You get your 12 or 14 or 15. Then you can still think about 300. In the next couple of overs, you keep going at sixes. That gets you somewhere near 180, 190. And then if you, as I say, if you have those bonus overs, you never know what can be done at the back end. But I think between 275 and 300 will probably be where they're aiming at this stage.
Yeah, so it's an opportunity again for Surya Kumar Yadav to continue, for Sundar to show why he's an all-rounder, and of course for the batsmen to follow that include all-rounders and Deepak Hooda to finish the innings for Team India. It's a discussion we had at the start. That's all on Cricbuzz Comm Box. We'll wrap it all up with Dinesh Karthik and Shaun Pollock in the mid-innings show.